welcome back to another video, and today I have an absolutely epic Orcust deck profile for you guys, and this is a special Orcust deck because I put this together on stream with you guys. Actually built this on stream on twitch.tv slash SpartaKing TV, so be sure to follow that over there because I'm doing a ton of streams over there and it's been really fun so far, so hope to see you guys live on Twitch. But other than that, this Orcust deck is absolutely incredible and I think it's the best way to be playing Orcust this format. So basically we tested it a ton in Raiden and stuff like that, and I really do like how it's playing so far. So without further ado, be sure to smash like and comment down below what you guys think of this deck, and of course, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first off, we're running 3 copies of Girsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. Girsu is your best starter. Basically, on summon, it sends an Orcust or World Legacy card from your deck to the graveyard, and then if you have 2 or more cards in the same column, then it becomes a tuner, but that effect doesn't matter. And then if you control no other monsters, you can special summon a token to your field and your opponent's field, and then that's Galatea material. So this is full combo by itself, Girsu. You may notice we are not running the lib package or anything like that. I think that makes the deck a bit too bricky, and I don't want to, like, subject it to something like that. Next up, we have 3 copies of Orcust Nightmare. Orcust Nightmare is an incredible card, and drawing it isn't bad, and having 3 copies in the deck, I feel, is completely mandatory. 1 copy of World Wand and 1 copy of Orochi. You can also run 2 copies of Wand instead of the 1 Orochi, but I like having 1 and 1 because this gives you a grind game, and this also, you can recur it with Galatea, so either way, I think this is the more correct way to play it. 2 copies of Symbol Skeleton. Symbol Skeleton 2 is extremely standard, I believe. It's a great card. It lets you revive your ding in your opponent's turn, all that stuff. But most of the time, you'll be going for Crescendo because, as you can see, this is a more trap-heavy list. Next, we have 3 copies of Scrap Recycler. Scrap Recycler is an incredible way to start your combo. Basically, Scrap Recycler is the same thing as Girsu, except you get a couple extra sends from the deck to the graveyard, and it lets you end on an additional, like, Masquerade or something, which is pretty cool. 1 copy of Scrap Golem. Obviously, this is a brick. You don't want to draw this, but if you do, you just have to suck it up and deal with it, because it isn't that bad. 1 copy of Orchestrated Babel over here. Babel is an incredible card. It makes all of your cards quick effects, basically, and then a lot of people forget that it does have another effect where during the main phase, if it's in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and add it back to your hand. So yeah, you really don't need any more copies of this card, and it's a very sick card, and it also combos with Nightmare in that sense, and yeah, just get to do your whole combo once again in your opponent's turn. 1 copy of Orchestrated Return. I don't think running 2 copies of this card is necessary. It's searchable with Galatea, but you don't really want to see it other than that. It's a great card, but only at 1, in my opinion. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Almost every single card is a dark, and I really do believe that Allure should be played in this deck. 1 Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is the best card in the deck. It sends you whatever you need, so yeah, it's basically another starter over here without using your normal summon. We have some extenders over here. I do believe that Jackalope and Tsushinoku will be going to 2 in the upcoming list, so that's pretty good for this deck. But we have 2 copies of Nessie, 1 Jackalope, 1 Tsushinoku, all of the dangers that guarantee a body on the field, because, yeah, they're the best ones, and they also get you a draw and a pitch from your hand. Maybe if they hit a Nightmare Summon a danger, that's basically as good as it gets. So this is very, very good, and I highly recommend running a small danger package in the deck. 1 copy of Instant Fusion. If you open Instant Fusion, you can bring out Winda and end on Winda as like an extender, so you can link it off into Galatea, or you can just keep the window on your field and then in the end phase use Ding to protect it. So either way, no matter how many extenders you have, Instant Fusion is always an incredible card. That's it for the monsters and spells. Let's hop into the trap cards. We have 3 copies of Solemn Strike over here. Solemn Strike is the best Solemn card by far. It's absolutely incredible being able to negate a monster effect or a special summon of a monster, which is amazing. Next, we have 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. This card is great too. It hits spells, traps, and monsters, but it doesn't hit monster effects, which is a downside to this card. I do believe Strike is a better Solemn card, but Judgment is still incredible. So we are running these cards as a more like sub-engine to keep on hitting our opponent past the Orcust engine, because I feel like the Orcust engine by itself is just a tiny bit lackluster. 3 copies of Paleozoic Dynamiscus. This card is an incredible banish, and it also pitches a card out of your hand. So that means if you have a Dead Nightmare or something, you can pitch it with Dynamiscus, get it in the graveyard, and then the Dynamiscus and the Orcust Nightmare are now live in the grave, which is just very, very, very good. 3 copies of Crescendo. You do want to draw this card. If you don't draw it, you usually will be searching it with Galatea wherever it's done here. There we go. And yeah, so Crescendo, incredible card, hits a Spoiler Trap card or monster effect that is activated while you have an Orcust Link monster, and it does banish the card instead of destroying it. And then also in the graveyard, it has the effect where you can banish it from your grave to search your deck for a Dark Machine monster that is banished or in your deck, which is very cool. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're playing this card. This card is very, very good, and I love having it at 3. 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Imperm is very good this format, so is Effect Negation, and especially because you're running a card like Scrap Recycler, you want to have something generic that you can pop. So if you just set the Imperm, you pop it with Wyvern, and you're basically good to go like that. So yeah, this is a very tight main deck, and I really do like this list so far. Onto the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Divine Arsenal, double A Zeus the Sky Thunder. You can sometimes make this over Ding, so you might as well be running it. It doesn't come up too often though. 2 copies of Dingirsu. Dingirsu is a mandatory 2 of, in my opinion. It's an incredible card. Non-targeting, send, and attach, protection, all that stuff. It's very good, and you have to run this card. 3 copies of Galatea, the Orcust automated. Galatea is broken, obviously. You can get your resources in the grind game back up. If it's linked, it can be destroyed by battle, and then also, it sets you your Babel or Crescendo or Return directly from the deck, so it gets you either a negate or another send in your opponent's turn with Babel, or even a draw 2 when you need it. Very, very good card, and I think that having it at 3 is the best thing that you can do. 1 copy of Longirsu, the Orchestrator. This card sometimes comes up, and when it does, it's incredibly good. So we are running it because you might as well. You have the space, and it is a very, very cool card. So yeah, 1 copy of Longirsu. 1 Scrap Wyvern over here. Scrap Wyvern is just crazy. Obviously, this combos with your Scrap Recycler to bring out the Scrap Golem. For the full Scrap combo, sending your Orcust pieces from the deck to the graveyard, along with your, if you want, like your Orochi or World Wand, whatever you really need. And yeah, so 1 Scrap Recycler, 1 IP Masquerena. IP we can sometimes add on our end board on top of what we already have, which is very, very cool. 1 Unicorn to go with the IP, another shuffle in our opponent's turn that pitches a card, so you can pitch a Nightmare from her hand or something. Very, very good card. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. Phoenix, a generic spawn trap removal. You can also go into this with IP. Usually you won't though, but yeah, this card's great. 1 Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Appaloosa is a very good card. It can come up, and when it does, obviously, it's crazy. 1 copy of the access code for the easy OTKs and board removal. You can make this card incredibly easy, and it's a dark monster, so it is a lot better than Boral Sword 2. 1 copy of Barricade Board Blocker. That means if you have any of your Orcust cards, you just pitch them out of your hand and then make Galatea. So this card lets you play on bricks, which is very good. 1 copy of Al Shadal Wunda, obviously for the fusion, instant fusion. This card's crazy. Obviously, if you keep it with Dingirsu, your opponent's locked out of special summon. They can special summon once, and then they're screwed for the rest of the turn. That's basically it for the extra deck. Onto the side deck, we have 3 copies of Joel Knockbird to hit your Leerless matchups and all of that card. Drytron, for sometimes it's kind of relevant in the meta right now. 3 copies of Nibiru. I side this in against Sword Soul and literally everything. It's crazy. So yeah, I run 3 copies of Nibiru, 3 copies of Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is incredible. Obviously, for a going second card, you definitely want to be running Lightning Storm. 3 Droplets and 3 Evenly for the exact same reasoning as Lightning Storm. Also, Droplets is a very, very good card to be running in general. And yeah, that's basically it for the deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below what you guys think of the deck. Of course, subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitch. Link in the description will be the top link, and it will be in the pinned comment because we are streaming on there a lot more. So I hope to see you guys on Twitch. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Alright, guys.